It's about that time. Let's go. Welcome to the Clubhouse. This is Velas Weekly Digest. Every Wednesday, make sure that the time's set. Everything blockchain news on the day-to-day. Velas here to tell you, Shirly, take it away.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm Shirly Delphine. On behalf of our team, welcome to the Velas Weekly Blockchain Digest. As every week, I am joined by my fellow lady from the Crypto Valley as my co-host, Delphine Forma, who's the Chief Compliance Officer at DAL, board member of the Open Web Association, and last but not least, a prominent voice in the global blockchain ecosystem. Thank you for joining me, Delphine.
Thank you, Shirley. Always a pleasure to be here.
Yes, and we were supposed to have a very interesting and colorful guest today, but there are some technical issues on the Clubhouse side and on the guest side, so we're gonna just cover the news today without any special opinions. For those who are joining us for the first time, then we are doing this on a weekly basis. And we cover some of the most important news from the crypto and compliance space. And who is interested in the full digest conducted by internal team of analysts, the fresh weekly news digest is available every Monday evening on velas.com/digest. And we have also opened up our own house, the official Velas Club, as well as the dedicated LinkedIn page. So join us there. So to kick things off, let's chat about the Bitcoin price as always. Last week's bull run ended in tears, so to say, as the Bitcoin price fell from the 65K highs to almost 50,000. There were speculations on several reasons for the price crash, and one of them being fear of governments outlawing Bitcoin to preserve their monopoly over currencies, which has come partly true in Turkey. So Turkey announced a ban on cryptocurrencies as a means of payment early Friday, with the ban to take effect on April 30th. Also, there were news on electricity outage in a big mining facility in China and rumors about the US Treasury charging several financial institutions for money laundering using cryptocurrencies, which all potentially caused massive sell-off in the market. What's interesting is that whenever there is a sell-off, there are plenty of buyers taking up new liquidity. So I'm curious, have you changed your prognosis and what do you think will happen in between, like by June 1st?
Well, so Shirley, just to come back on the little crash, it was a Sunday morning, I went out on Saturday till 2, and then my phone starting vibrating crazy on Sunday morning at 7 o'clock, and I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Checking the market, I was like, oh no, everything is crashing, this is so bad. But it's not so bad, I think 50 is still a good amount. And no, I haven't changed my prognosis, Shirley. I do think 100K is going to be by September, that's my prognosis. By June, well, we are April 20 something, so it's June 1st in 1 month. What I do think is gonna go up again. I think I do think from a regulatory side, there are gonna be a few things happening, and we talk about it a little bit during the last podcast, and especially the revisal proposal on the safe harbor in the US. I know it's on GitHub and invited for comments, so Senator put it there. And I think that's something that would really be good for the US market. So let's see what's going on there. And then, regarding India and all those one, they always change their mind. But there has been some more worrying news in South Korea that might have an impact. But I do think institutions are still really interested in Bitcoin. The money is in Europe and US, and I do think it's going to keep going up. I think a year ago, almost around the same time, there was been a huge crash, and then it kept going up. So I'm not very worried.
Yeah, in terms of US, I also read an article today. There was a crypto report issued from Gemini, and they stated that 63% of respondents identified themselves as crypto curious, meaning that they do not currently own crypto but are either willing to learn more or planning to buy crypto soon, so hopefully this year. So they are very bullish in US that more and more people get involved.
But I think everywhere it's the same, as there's a few people, recently that's texting me or calling me saying to me, do you think it's time to invest in crypto? And I'm like, I'm not giving any financial advice. And I'm like,
But like yesterday, it was right time,
yes.
right? Yeah, I have also a lot of people who I got involved recently, like complete newbies. They were freaking out because of the crash. They were like, "What's happening now? Is it the end?" But I was like, "No, it's normal.
Come on.
check. It's
Yeah.
already raising today."
Yeah, it's like 55. I mean, like, come on, people. 55 is so high compared to a year ago, right? I mean, like, a year ago in March, it was like 4.5 or something like that. I'm like, come on. Nothing to worry there.
Exactly. Yeah, so I believe also the price will restore back to the normal stage where it was, back to the all-time high and even more.
Yeah, me too.
Taui, are you there? I always look forward to Taui's price prognosis on Bitcoin.
But I think it's only you and me today. I guess Clubhouse is
Yeah.
having some problem today.
All right, so last week we touched upon the direct listing of Coinbase Exchange, and if anyone is interested in exposure, the ticker is COIN and currently trading at around $318. And yesterday, Nasdaq launched the equity option trading with ticker coin.o. The launch of equity options will offer a new way for investors to bet on the fortunes of Coinbase. And the equity options represent the right, but not the obligation to buy or sell a stock at a certain price, known as the strike price, on or before an expiration date.
Well,
That's a
that was
continuation of our Coinbase saga.
indeed that's an interesting one. I didn't know it was a price, so it's not too bad. But this is on the back also of the news. Like this was like on the headline this week that CEO Brian Armstrong sold 749,999 shares, to be precise, in 3 batches at a price ranging from 381 to 410 per. Total proceed was 291 million, according to one filing. While a Coinbase representative declined to comment due to the company being on a so-called quiet period, based on the filings made before the listing, it would indicate Armstrong sold about 1.5% of his stake. So if we look at for the price he sold it and the price it's right now, I mean, I think he made quite a good deal. And on that, I gave it some thought, and I was thinking, like, because it was a direct listing, it was not an IPO, that was a good way for those people to make a lot of money, because at the end of the day, they decided to do direct listing when the price of Bitcoin was very high, so all the condition was favorable for them to get a very good price for their share and make a lot of money, right? So I thought that was quite interesting if you think about it post-event, right? But let's talk about something else. Last week, I shared the article this weekend about NFTs, Shirley, and we text about it. So did you know that when Paris Hilton goes to sleep, she dreams about NFTs? Actual dreams, apparently. Literal dreams. She dreams about NFTs project, Shirley, NFT artists, even NFTs metaverse. And she said NFTs have literally taken over her entire mind and soul. And in an interview with CoinDesk, she confessed, "I'm obsessed. It's all I think about. I've never been so excited about something in my life because I really see this as the future. I'm just so obsessed with it that I'm actually having dreams about it every single night. I actually do agree with her. I mean, whatever she said in this article, and I think you commented on LinkedIn that you also agree with it. I mean, like Paris Hilton, at the time, like I think like 10 or 20 years ago, was seen as a Barbie, stupid, just throwing out parties. But she's actually doing something really cool for the community, I think.
Yeah, true. I was so surprised because I was a big fan of her when I was like 13, 14, and I could never imagine her being in such industry. And actually, thanks to this article, I found out that she has been active in crypto and invested since 2016 already, like
Yeah, she
myself, and it's really surprising. Like you
Yeah,
never know.
she even says that she met with the founder of Ethereum, I think, in this article. And I was also very surprised because, at the end of the day, I think she's really cool, right? And she's like a kind of fashion icon in the crypto industry, which is really interesting. And yeah, and she's quickly winning over people who are skeptical about her. She came in and she started talking to everybody, says Crypto Yuna, a long-time crypto artist. So Yuna was amazed Hilton not only followed her on Twitter, but engaged in DMs and seemed very curious about her work. I think she said, like, I think she's changed everybody's perception of her in the space. And Yuna apparently even made her an honorary graffiti queen in recognition of her support for female NFT artists. I think it's really cool, and that I was also saying in the article that she's gonna work on some collaboration to some new NFT art, and I'm really curious about what she's gonna do.
Yeah, I think it's also good for the adoption because the more famous people and stars with big follower and fan base educate their fan club, then the more likely we see this technology getting adopted by traditional masses and not just crypto geeks.
Yeah, exactly, and especially some icon like her, like it's a generation where when you were younger, we're like, oh, and no, like it's there. Right? I think it's very very
Yeah,
very
so
cool.
I'm back to the fan club of Paris Hilton.
Me too.
So here's another NFT related news. A non-fungible token depicting National Security Agency whistleblower Edward Snowden just sold at an auction for nearly 5.5 million USD. And it was not immediately clear who won the prize, but the person went by the username Blizzard DAO on OpenSea and on the Foundation platform where the auction was held. And the sale makes Stay Free, which is the NFT called, one of the single most expensive NFTs to go at auction. And behind People's 69 million magnum opus and a pair of CryptoPunks. So many artists and athletes have emerged from the NFT craze with millions in total dollars, but few have achieved such holds with a single piece. And it's also stated that all of the funds will be donated to the Freedom of the Press Foundation. So it's pretty cool. It's still taking such high prices on auctions, and the NFT craze is going on. It's non-stop, seems like.
It's pretty crazy, especially for this one. It's not even really art, right? I was like, really, all this money for that? That's very very crazy, right?
Definitely.
But it's good. Like the industry is keeping going, and people were saying like, "Oh, NFTs is just a big bubble and hype." That shows like, no, it's keep going, right?
Yeah,
And people are still interested in it.
There are so many like use cases. I also saw some earlier news about U.S. postal services start using NFTs for the stamps.
Really?
And yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
And then the Ethereum name service ENS has minted non-fungible tokens which represent 25 top-level domains owned by Domain Name System, which is called DNS, company Uni Registry and Naming. And these include domains such as .hiphop, .click, .game, and .audio, among a number of others. And the Uni Registry and Naming is auctioning off 23 of those top-level domains. And winners will receive both the top-level domain and an NFT representing the Ethereum name service version. And the NFT acts as part of the mechanism that easily allows domain owners to hold control of their domains on ENS. So we're seeing so many different use cases for NFTs, not just art and music. So
Yeah, I've seen this one. I saw the article and I was like, oh, this is very cool. Maybe I should get on that, you know. But it's nowhere as cool as this news that the Rolling Stone lead singer Mick Jagger is jumping into the NFT craze to help independent music venues that have been adversely affected by the corona pandemic. I think this is really cool. So, in a recent announcement from Mick Jagger, he said that he had started a 24 hours auction on Nifty Gateway, featuring an NFT based on a new song with Foo Fighter frontman David Grohl. The digital piece is designed by artist Oliver Latta, also known as Extra Vague, feature a loop of a figure running through two human heads, with Grohl and Jagger Easy Sleazy song playing in the background. I think it's a really cool one. You know, it's good that, you know, as we said before, that celebrities is getting in the space, but also they are getting in the space to raise money and give it back to the community, right? It's not only they're not only raising money for themselves, they're raising money for a good cause, right?
yes, which is very important. What's happening in the compliance side and in the payments side of the crypto space?
Oh my God, as usual, a lot of things is happening. So you already mentioned the news coming out of Turkey, but yeah, there are a few other interesting developments. So we have Facebook project DM. Apparently could launch its first stablecoin in 2021, so this year, as a small-scale pilot. Cited CNBC report published on Tuesday, the source claims that Switzerland-based non-profit, the DM Association, is still intending to launch its pilot for US dollar stablecoin later this year. And I think also on the back of that, apparently there has been a white paper circulating on by Project DM, saying that they might also sell stablecoin as a service, so helping central bank to issue the central bank currency and like doing stablecoin. But that's a rumor, so I'm not so sure it's true. But there was an article on that.
Don't they need a banking license then if they issue it in Switzerland?
Of course, surely they do.
So this might be easily refused.
Yes. As you've seen today, I sent you the guidance from FINMA to issue it in Switzerland. You might need a banking license or a collective investment scheme license in like 99% of the cases, right? But in Switzerland, we are there again. This was actually surprising news for me because I had no idea that they were doing that. So the fintech Taurus Group is moving ahead with its digital asset marketplace after getting a securities dealer license from FINMA on Monday. So according to the press release, Taurus will launch its digital e-exchange, which is called apparently TDX, on May 10th. The platform seeks to provide investors and banks with the ability to trade a number of assets, including tokenized securities, private assets, real estate, art, NFTs, and crypto. So I was really surprised about that because Taurus is more, for me, Taurus was more like a provider of technology for custody. And I learned about the news because in my compliance group, someone from Bitcoin Suisse was like, "Do you know anything about that?" I was like, "No, I was as surprised as you."
Yeah, I haven't even heard about them, I think, before.
No, I mean, like they are really a tech provider. They are based in Geneva. I met one of their sales in Davos 2 years ago, and I remember very well because this guy is coming from the same town where I'm born. So I was like, oh my God, and we did the same school, so that was quite funny, right? So this is what I remember about them. But that's not it. We have a CI Global Asset Management and Evolve ETF as we received an approval to launch the ETF in Canada, and that will offer exposure to Ether. So all those ETF will begin trading on April 20. Purpose is the manager of Purpose Ether ETF, and Ether Capital Corporation will consult. The ETH will be kept in cold storage, with Gemini acting as the sub-custodian and CIBC Mellon Global Securities acting as the fund administrator. TradeBlock is the index provider for Purpose. So, well, you know, in Canada they are keeping approving ETF. I'm very curious to see when the US is going to move on with that, because so far they have been saying no. Then let's go with our banks. Morgan Stanley has confirmed it is offering its wealth management client exposure to Bitcoin by way of a pair of external crypto funds. So in its first quarter earnings call, the 4 trillion wealth management firm CFO Jonathan Prusan said the bank is allowing qualified investors to gain access to 2 passive funds. So Prusan said of its crypto service, as we see more interest, we'll work with regulators to provide service we think are appropriate. So we can see that banks are still, you know, they are in the game. And to come back to the question on the price of Bitcoin, I mean, no one is giving up on that. So Bitcoin will remain there. It's just like we are used to the up and down of it, right? That's it. Something I find more interesting, and it was in the news today, Binance US has hired the former bank regulator Brian Brooks as its CEO. So I'm very interested to see where this is going to go. Brian Brooks was quite crypto friendly, and I think it's a big sign of Binance trying to say to the regulator in the US, look, we are serious about what we are doing there. I have some doubt about that, but let's see. But
they're maybe trying to monopolize the US market as well now.
Yeah, but I think
With
that's
that
good,
move.
right? You do some competition to Coinbase. I think between Coinbase and Binance, I like the Binance approach a little bit better. They are more pirate style, you know.
Probably the next step is banking license in US.
Yes, yeah, probably
Binance.
yes. Let's see about that. I'm not so sure they are really on that, but they should get one, I think, if they really want to conquer the market in the US. And then still related to the price of crypto, this is not such a good news because South Korea has always been quite a big market for crypto. They are starting to kick off a new crackdown on illicit crypto activities. Apparently, by a lot of different state agencies will be given the authority to investigate, monitor, and punish crypto businesses or virtual asset service providers. The state will also determine in the coming months which VASP are legit and which will be deemed illegal. Indeed, you know, I think I talked about it last week. South Korea has passed a new legislation, and it asks VASP to register with the regulators there. And there is a lot of things a lot of requirements that they have to fulfill in order to be able to be registered. And in most of articles, they say that it will favor like big crypto exchange player, and the small one will be completely eliminated. So let's see what is gonna happen there.
Yeah. All right. Is that it? Or
Yeah, I think I'm done for today.
All right. Then, do we have anyone in the audience who wants to comment?
People are very quiet today. I think the application is not
because of
working.
the nice weather. You know, summer is approaching. people are not sitting in the Clubhouse anymore.
Well, maybe, with
Or
the
maybe
terrace.
everybody are appearing technical issues.
Yeah, or they are actually drinking on a terrace in the sun in Switzerland because we are open now. Yay!
Yay! All right, then that's it for today, I guess.
Yep.
Everybody, if you want a bigger selection and more in-depth blockchain news, then visit velas.com/digest and tune in every Wednesday at 6 p.m. CET for the Velas Weekly Blockchain Digest here on Clubhouse with a special guest. Next week we have a
We have
CEO of
Chris.
Tal.
He's the president of the board
Oh.
of TAG. Chris.
Okay, cool.
Would be
So
fun,
someone
I
from
think.
your company.
Yes.
Nice. All right. I want to thank you, Delphine, for supporting me today.
Thank you, Shirley. I love doing that, so my pleasure.
All right. We have some new people joining now, but guys, I'm sorry to tell you that we just finished up. But you can listen to the recording on YouTube and on Velas social media. So I have to close down the room.
But thanks
See you
Shirley.
next Wednesday.
Yeah. See you.
Bye.